what I mean by that is I don't like narrow ideological categories, meaning that I think we can learn something from a variety of different perspectives. Conservatism has much to teach us because of the weight they put on tradition. You can tell by my presentation, I believe that tradition has tremendous gravitas. Tremendous gravitas. Now, we might not always agree which tradition or how we understand various traditions, but tradition is fundamental for me. And that's why the Edmund Burkes and others mean much to me. The Michael Oakeshops and others mean much to me. And that means then that, yes, there ought to be a concern about the kind of persons we are. But I learned from the anarchist. I'm suspicious of governments having too much power. I'm suspicious of all forms of concentrated power because it's difficult to keep it accountable. So that if you have an authoritarian government that's telling you what to do, who you are, how to shape your soul, I'm with the libertarians. I'm in solidarity with Brother Ron Paul on that one issue. Because he might be way out in left field, in my view, on a number of other things. But when it comes to libertarian commitment to rights and liberties, I'm with him. That's why I'm critical of the Patriotic Act. He is too. We right there together. We're going to court next week for the National Defense Authorization Act. I think it's authoritarian. No president has the right to decide who to murder and assassinate. Democracy is about rule of law. Bring them to court. You don't shoot them on the spot. I don't care who the president is, you see. Well, libertarians accent it. I agree. I learned from my socialist brothers and sisters. Namely what? We got to keep track of those oligarchs and plutocrats and those huge monopolies at the top that are too big to fail when it comes to big banks. Maybe they're too big to fail. Maybe they're too big to exist. Maybe they need to be downsized. They need to be decentralized. And it's very interesting because our libertarian brothers and sisters will say, government's too big, let's decentralize it. States' rights, Ooh, states' rights, yes. I do believe states ought to have power, but states' rights in America has often meant what? Keep track of those black people. That's what it's meant. We'll take care of them. We don't need the federal government intervening to protect their rights. This is a state's affair. No, I'm suspicious of that. Why? Because I hate white supremacy. I love white brothers and sisters, but I hate white supremacy. Like I hate male supremacy. So you end up with the Democrats saying what? I don't want the state telling us who to be. Who to be. I defend Brother Rush Limbaugh's right to be wrong. I'm libertarian. Now, if he's engaging in injurious harm, then accountability needs to set in. If he's inciting violence and so forth, then accountability needs to set in. But he has a right. So that I'm suspicious when people say the government needs to define how we behave, what we are, and even how we think. You see, we're back to George Orwell, 1984, groupthink, big brother. Ooh, I'm a libertarian in that regard, you see. But I want to keep track of the concentration of power in the private sector. See, and that's where the populists and socialists have something to say. Now, what kind of overall perspective does that present? I don't think one ideology captures my own position. Not at all. That's why I call myself just a revolutionary Christian and deep Democrat. It's a wonderful question. We got one more question. Yes, not just one more question, because I'm going to stay here as long as you all would like. But it's so nice to have a traditional beginning with the young students. So I love that.
Dr. West, I want to just thank you so much for appearing here, first of all, because I know this is something I'm going to remember for the rest of my life. But my name is Kevin Shaggett. I'm a junior here, and my question deals with, I've seen some of your interviews with you and your brother Travis, and you talk about the ability of the American people to, once they decide to do something, they can go out there and do it. And this is talking about your poverty tour and impoverished people. And I just want to know, what can I, as a young adult, as a student, and many people like me around in this audience do for that situation, for those of us who are not in the museum right now.
Well, that's 3 out of 3. You are batting 1,000. Thank you so much, though, brother, for that. All three of you were so eloquent. I think that Brother Tavis and I met Brother Tavis 27 years ago. He was almost a teenager, about 19. And he was in working for SCLC, Martin Luther King Jr.'s organization in Los Angeles, under Mark Ridley Thomas, who's executive director. And I told Brother Tavis, I said, you know, that we have got to live and die to keep the legacy of Brother Martin and others alive. Because it's so easy to lose track of it, and it's so easy to domesticate it. And of course, Brother Martin died doing what? Loving poor people. I didn't say just fighting for them. I didn't say just working on their behalf. I'm talking about loving. The brother had a love affair. That's rare. That's very rare. Very rare. I mean, the wonderful thing about the faculty here at Queen's University of Charlotte as well. You got professors who, at their best, love the students and the subject matter. It's just not a job. It's a life task. It's not a profession. It's a vocation. It's not a career. It's a calling. But when you have that kind of calling, that's the key. And that's what I meant by lift every voice. That's the genius of James Weldon Johnson and his brother Rosamond. Because they knew that they come out of tradition of black folk.